payment companies and all the POS systems. We share our 6-month roadmap regarding new features and functionality updates so that there's really no surprises when it comes to making changes. Now, I want to very briefly explain the white labeled member portal that comes as part of the solution. This portal is what will allow your customers to stay up to date with all the activity taking place within their gift and loyalty cards. Any customer with a gift card will be able to go into this portal, check their balance, and see any past transactions that they have done. And any customer with a loyalty card can stay current with the points they've accumulated to that date, and also see if they're owed any promotions from you at the moment.
What does that look like?
So what does the portal look like?
Yeah.
We're going to show that to you once we demo this week. Now, moving on to the next slide, I would like to explain to you why DataCandy is more than just a software. If you look at this slide here, there's a lot. You're a business owner and you have a lot of other responsibilities to deal with. So I really want to explain to you how we're going to implement the best solution for your needs. When you start working with us, the first step really is to get a better understanding of what your gift and loyalty needs are. That will be done by a consulting project manager that has an understanding of the thrift store space. We're not going to build a loyalty program for you, but we're going to give you the best practices and tell you what's worked well for customers in the past. Now, once you have that plan, your consulting project manager will work with you to create a timeline on the project plan. They're going to work with you with your contact at Secure Retail, that being Gary over here, to make sure that testing is done properly. They'll make sure that everyone is trained and ready to launch. Then lastly, you'll have a dedicated account manager that will be available to you, available to help you pre and post launch with promotional help. They can help you analyze some of your key performance indicators, which will allow for a deeper understanding of your customers' spending patterns. That's all part of the DataCandy solution. Now, Brandon, I'm going to hand it over to you to.
Okay, so Chris and Shonda, so I had prepared for you guys a fantastic demonstration on our Text to Win program. Unfortunately, just because of the little system issues I'm having here with being signed into the meeting twice with my cell phone and my computer, I'm going to push that over to the end of the meeting. If we have time, I'm going to try to be able to share screens to show you. But for now, I'm going to explain it. So you guys have obviously expressed an interest in launching, an enterprise loyalty program, gift and loyalty program with us, right? So what exactly do you think is the biggest challenge really in getting a program like this off the ground when it comes to, your loyalty members?
My thoughts are just, we've got, an email database right now through Constant Contact of over 13,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. So how do we get those folks converted? And then the transition of our current stamp card method, how do we transition into, a points-based, electronic loyalty program? So those are the things that keep me up at night right now.
Absolutely. Well, you hit the nail on the head, actually. That's exactly what I was hoping you were going to say, to be honest. The biggest challenge that our customers generally have is how do you convert your customers into loyalty members, right? Getting them, to create their profiles, to give you the information, metadata that allows you to really make this program super successful and effective for you. All right. So we've created something that's really interesting and fun, for prospective loyalty members to essentially play a game outside of your location's walls with a chance to win a prize. All right. So we call this gamification, and it's our program Text to Win. So I'm going to try to demo it later in the meeting, but I'll kind of explain what would happen here. So let's say that you guys, through social media or maybe printed on the bottom of your receipts, you have a little thing that says text the word pathways, to this phone number for your chance to win a prize. Okay. So what they would basically do is text that number. All right. And it's going to give them a hyperlink. All right. In the SMS thread, they click the hyperlink and it's going to open basically a game that's all fully branded with your images and logo and colors, so on and so forth. And what they would do is put in an email address. When they click their email address, they play the game, and a scratch card is going to come up. Using their finger, they swipe the scratch card and kind of scratch away all of the gray kind of film, and then underneath that, it's going to say what prize they've won. So maybe it's bonus points of 2,500 bonus points, or maybe it's a prize or something like that is going to encourage them basically to finish off and become a loyalty member. All right. So when you give them these, 2,000 or 2,500 or 1,000 loyalty points, what's going to happen there is it's going to ask for, to claim that prize, it's going to ask for their first name, last name, phone number, and then a little skill testing question that they have to answer, which is, I believe, usually we have it set up for 15. It's just a little bed mass kind of math question. Now from there, it shows we store that data. All right. We have that now in the back-end system. So what we've basically accumulated is we've got their name, we've got their cell phone number, we've got their email address. All right. We have language preference. We even know what kind of phone they're using, if they have an iPhone or an Android-based phone. And the reason we have that is because what's going to show up when they put in that information, they're going to get a barcode number, which is essentially their loyalty number. Okay. And there's going to be a little button below that that's going to say add to my wallet, my digital wallet. So they click that button and it's going to add to either their Apple Wallet or their Google Pay account right on their cell phone. So it doesn't even require a physical gift, a loyalty card. Okay. Now, from there, they're going to receive an email, directly from you guys saying, hey, we'd love you to, continue the process of filling out your profile and registering your loyalty account. Okay. Once they do that, essentially, they're off to the races. Now, having the loyalty card, they still have the ability, of course, to come into the store, to make purchases, to continue to earn loyalty. But what we generally recommend to customers like you folks is that you would have a rule in place that says they can't redeem any of their loyalty points until they complete their profile creation. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay. So that's essentially the text to win program. It's been very successful in the past, but again, it's something that's optional. It's included essentially in your membership with this gift and loyalty program. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to navigate now over to essentially a sort of a version of our branded member portal. Okay, so I've put this together for you just to give you an idea of what it could look like. Now, please don't judge the image itself here. I'm not really a designer when it comes down to it, so I did the best I could in about a half hour here to kind of create this for you. Really, you'll see here that you have the ability to sign in with your username and password, but of course you also have a tab here that allows you to register your profile here. So we're going to go ahead and sign in. You see that it's also in English and French, so you can click the French version to get to see everything listed in French. So
I don't think they'll be doing that in the United States.
Oh, that's right. My apologies. My apologies.
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
So the first thing that you're going to see here when you sign in, okay, is you're going to have your tabs at the top: location, cards, offers, and profile. Okay, but it's going to default right to the cards section. You're going to see essentially your loyalty cards. All right, so you would have your loyalty card number right here, the balance of points that you've earned, and any rewards that you might have. You can also take a look at all the various transactions by location. All right, of all the loyalty accumulations and redemptions that have been made using that loyalty card number. Okay, just like that. And you'll also see a list of all the gift cards that person has actually purchased in the past. They can register their gift cards right on here and keep an eye on all of the transactions associated with the gift cards. Okay, they can rename if they wanted to, the gift cards here to reflect what they want it to reflect. Okay. But you'll see essentially a breakdown of all of that information. All right, very, very easy to use. You'll also have a list of all the locations, okay, which is basically married with your Google Maps, so they can actually look up all the closest locations to their current position. You'll have a breakdown of all of the offers. Okay, so Justin touched on this, promotional offers. Now, you have the ability, of course, to just offer, a base yield of 1% or 2% or 3% of loyalty points, essentially, to all purchases that are made. But you also have the ability to send out custom promotions, all right, that you would configure and decide upon. So a lot of different kinds of promotions that you can implement, but here's a few examples. Spend more, get 4 times the points. So it could be like spend $100 and then double the amount of points that you would receive. It could be some kind of a reward that is specific to your to thrift stores or to your industry, right? It could be something more along the reward side of things, where you could purchase 9 coffees and get the 10th one for free. Okay, or come in at a specific day and time and get an additional bonus points of maybe 1,000 or 2,000 bonus points, whatever you guys want, and within your budget, of course. Okay, but basically, this is going to be always showing everything that is available to them at the time. Okay?
So, as a customer, a loyalty customer, all of this information is available. So I can see any promotions or any campaigns that are offered to loyalty members. So I'm not missing anything.
100%. Exactly.
Nice.
So we also have a breakdown, of course, of this is a sample profile. I'd be able to see all of my information, first and last name, gender, birthday, language, the country, address information, postal code, communication consent, which is basically just saying that they're authorizing you to be marketed to. And then, of course, their communication preferences, whether it be by email or SMS text or both. All right. So this is basically us sending out notifications by email or text or both saying, hey, we've got a new promotion. It's available from this date to this date, this time to this time. Come on into the store within yada, yada, yada time and, receive double the, loyalty points or X number of bonus points or whatever you guys basically set up for a promotion. All right, so there would be a notification there that they would receive on top of being able to see it when they sign in to their member portal. Okay. You have, of course, email address, password for the profile. And this is actually pretty cool, too. So we give you the ability to actually ask anywhere from 5 to 10 questions specific to your industry. What is it that you like the most about family pathways? What types of items do you tend to purchase when you come into the store? How often do you come in? What location is the closest location to you, or something like that? Whatever questions you want to ask. Now, this information, of course, from just a marketing standpoint, is very, very valuable stuff. But we can actually target groups of people that you want to market to, that you want to send out special promotions to, based on any of this metadata. All right. So we could specify we want to talk to all the males, that have come into one of the locations, maybe in this postal code, or I should say, the equivalent in the U.S. is zip code. So, and we can isolate people that have come in maybe in the last 6 months, or people that have bought certain items as well, and then target to those groups and then send out a promotion to them specifically. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So we have every Tuesday our senior and military discount. Mm-hmm. So I imagine that this is where we would, ask them to identify as either a senior citizen or a military member. But then would that discount automatically load every Tuesday to their card so that they don't have to tell the cashier, give me my military discount?
That's a really great question, Shonda. So part of this is going to have to depend on how you're running the discount. You could be running the discount potentially through the POS software, all right? In which case we could just send out notification messages that there is a discount on this day and this time. Right, and then your discounts would already be connected to, to the POS. I believe that's something that is available. Is that correct, Gary?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you could run that discount right through the POS, and then just use our systems to notify them of when that discount is available, from a communication standpoint. Now, you could also connect maybe those discounts as well to a specific promotion. Maybe you want to give them X number of bonus points if they come in on a specific day, to take advantage of that discount. But chances are you're already providing them a discount. You don't want to necessarily increase your costs anymore. So that's up to you guys. Does that make sense, Shonda? Answer the question?
Not really.
No? Okay.
So what I'm asking is, like, if I'm a member of the military and I go shopping on Tuesdays when I'm supposed to get my 25% off, and I use my loyalty card, will the discount automatically be applied, or will I still have to tell the cashier that I'm a member of the military and I need a discount?
Is that a constant where it's only on Tuesday for military discount and only for military type customers?
Tuesday is senior and military, every Tuesday.
Yeah, so do they have to prove that they are military somehow?
They do have to present their military ID.
Right.
And do you know if our software can recognize that the customer is military or senior?
Well, we could throw those questions into your additional information here.
That's what I'm thinking.
We could, but I'm not 100% sure. That would be more a question for Gary if that would translate to the POS, though.
Yeah, just that we investigate that a little bit further. I don't know how we do that somewhere else. I can't remember how we do it, but the discount's only available 1 day a week, and they have to produce that ID, and they do something with the ID on our point of sale that would authorize it. There's a number or something that they key punch in, and then they would get the discount. If they don't have that number, or if they put the number in incorrectly, it won't register a discount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll definitely have to take that one offline, I think, Shonda, to just find out if there's a way of connecting the loyalty card to the POS's ability to apply the discount. Because the discount's going to be on the POS level and not necessarily on the DataCandy level.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
the customer.
You got that? Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm going to jot that down and we'll review that after.
Yeah, the customer that's doing that right now, they have DataCandy. So I think they're kind of doing it in conjunction with their military ID of some sort. I'll find out the details as well. I'll get back to you.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so that really takes a close look, at essentially the more of the customer-facing content. So what I'm going to do is navigate over to the back office to give you guys a good understanding, essentially, of how you two would be leveraging essentially the back office reports and the systems in order to manage really the successfulness of the program. All right, so when you first sign in, you're going to see essentially the dashboard. All right. So it's designed to, provide you with really a high-level overview of the health of your gift and loyalty program, and it's updated in what we would say near real time. And I say near real because that's essentially our system doing its calculations overnight, and then so the next morning you would have all of the updated data. Okay. So each company user can have their own widgets for relevant reporting. If you have people that handle specifically the finance side, maybe they want to see reports based on, the loyalty program and what the liability is associated with that. Whereas maybe, your sales team is more focused on like the gift card side of things. But this is all fully configurable. You guys can basically very easily add widgets and then configure those widgets to show you whatever reports you want. So every user could have their own distinct dashboard and save reports to their own library of reports as well. Okay. So just to kind of give you a high-level overview, here's the few of the different kinds of widgets that we can have available. So your total members, all right, as of a specific date. You can take a look at how many members you had as of last week, last month, last year. Okay, and see kind of where the lift is there. You can have the total member sales. Okay, so looking across all your loyalty customers, in this case, it's all sample data, but it shows here, we've sold 1,441,286.37. Okay, and we can see what those sales look like for those loyalty members from last week, last month, last year. Your total member visits, of course, sort of structured in the same way. New members that have been added to the program, taking a look at what we had last week, last month, last year. Your members' last activity. So something I'll just kind of show you here is that all of these dashboard widgets are actually dynamic. So they give you the ability to kind of hone in on certain data points as you sort of scroll through them. Okay. You've got here your member profile completion, all right, which is obviously a pretty important one. The power of this program is very much dependent on getting your members to finish registering their profile. Okay, that data, that metadata that they're inputting in the system gives you guys the ability to isolate certain groups and promote to them. Okay, which is very important. So now, of course, like I said, all sample data here, but ideally, a really healthy program is going to have somewhere around 50 to 60% completion rate. Okay, but you can actually isolate, the completion profile, all right, or isolate maybe, those that have not completed their profile, all right, with this particular report. Okay. Next is the loyalty float balance. Very important one as well. This is your liability. This is essentially what you guys are on the hook for from a financial standpoint. All right. Now, in this case, it's saying, well, we've got 41,286 points out in market right now across all the loyalty members. This is the money basically that we owe them back for when they make redemptions. Okay, very important stuff. Now, of course, we have lots of reports and dashboards on gift cards. Right. So this one here is an example of gift card amount activity, and again, as you can see, completely dynamic. We can isolate specific aspects of it, such as activations. So we can say here on Saturday, April 11th, 2020, we activated $90 worth of gift cards, right? Or we could focus on the redemption side of things and say, well, here on July 15th, we redeemed $61.93 in gift cards. Okay. Now, all of these reports, again, like I said, are configurable. You can click the little edit button here. You can change how you view these reports. So looking at bar charts, line charts, spline charts, okay? We can change the size of them, so that they stretch across the full width or make them really small. We can specify date ranges, custom, or you can use our predefined ranges, current week, last week, current month, so on and so forth, okay? And then we have this notion of types. Types is kind of interesting too. So this would be basically you guys configuring what types of gift cards you have out there to market. So maybe you send out promotional gift cards, and those promotional gift cards are specific to veterans, or seniors or something like that. So you could actually identify and organize the data to reflect just these types of gift cards, if you wish. Make sense so far? Excellent.
Good.
All right, so let's go ahead and we're just going to create a new widget from scratch. So here's a list of different widgets that we can add. Let's take a look at member average spend per visit. Okay. So we're just going to create this widget, and what do we want to see? We want to see, let's see this as a bar chart. Okay. And we're going to look at date ranges. We're going to do a predefined of, let's say, current month. And I'll click save. So right here, it's basically showing us that, last week, last month, last year breakdown. But for this particular time frame period, our average spend for across all of our loyalty members is $22.79. Okay. Any questions on that so far? All right. So again, dashboards, as you guys know, are really just a high-level 20,000-foot view of the health of your program. But if you want to drill down into these reports, simply just click on the titles, and then we're going to see different reports show up. Okay. So this is what we call the loyalty KPI report. All right. Not a fantastic name, but lots of really important data that you're going to come across in here. So you've got number of new members, number of visits, amount basically, so member sales, and then you've got member sales by visit. All right. So what this really is it's a loyalty KPIs report broken down by merchant or date, however you want to sort the data within specific time frames. Okay. Now, what we can also do with this report is we can even isolate specific locations. So you guys are a 10 location business. Is it sort of going to be fixed at 10 for now, or do you guys have options to kind of increase the number of locations you'll have in the near future?
Our goal is to grow, over the next couple of years. So
fantastic. And this would be throughout multiple cities, of course, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you could even isolate, if you wanted to, specific locations by city. All right. So for instance, we're going to edit the merchants. So I'll just use an example because I know the sample data here a little bit better. I'm going to search by Toronto. Okay. And here are all my locations in the Toronto area, excuse me. So I'm just going to check off these locations here, and I'm going to save and add these to my report, and I'm going to hit refresh. Okay, now I have my 4 locations, all right, and all of the data associated with them. I'm going to see data like new members, member sales, member visits, member spend by visit. Okay, we have the ability to sort this information ascending or descending. We can add different columns like, the percentage of new members, new completed profiles, so on and so forth, just by adding these here. Okay. Wow. And we also have the ability to export all of this data into Excel or CSV file. So if you guys like playing around with Excel or anything like that, and want to organize the data in different ways, any of our reports and dashboards can be actually exported, okay, for any kind of manipulation that you need.
So all of these reports are available on any browser, right?
Correct. Yeah, the system is actually recognizes mobile browsers. So if you're looking at this data through a mobile phone, you're going to find that it actually formats very well for mobile devices too. But any browser basically should work. Okay. So we have the ability now to save as well. Save reports, save and refresh. Now, when we save reports, what this also does is it's actually going to take the report and save it into our private library. So my reports section right in here. So I can go directly into, the my reports section and see any changes that I've made to these reports, bring it up in order to show this to other people or, facilitate any kind of conversation, just like that.
So you can just allocate all those reports that, say, Shauna wants into her reports versus what Chris wants to see on his reports.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Having your own sort of custom library really it speeds up the process so you don't have to keep building these reports over and over again.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. So essentially that is the reporting side of things. Okay. So now what I want to do is take a little look at the member profiles. Okay. So we're going to scroll up to the top here. We're going to go click on profiles and do a search. All right. So you can search any profile by any of the metadata that you want. For just today's demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and search just by first name. So I'll just type in here the name Stuart, and I'm going to do a quick search here. Okay. So if I scroll down, I can see all of the member data associated with the profile name Stuart. All right. So we probably have multiple profiles with that name. We're just going to click here on the first one.
Now, Stuart Lachowski is a good customer, right?
Yeah, right. All right. So again, here's basically the profile for Stuart. All right. So we can take a look. We see all the same information that we saw on the member portal as well. And if we just scroll down here a little bit lower, we have a breakdown of all their cards associated. So loyalty cards, prepaid cards, basic gift cards, promo cards. It could be anything here. We have account information. And we have, of course, all of the transaction information as well. Now, if I'm looking through the transaction details, okay, I want to take a quick look and see if I can find an accumulation. All right, but I'm going to try to find one that's actually got some good volume on it. So here's one. So we're going to take a look at the transaction details. So this is a transaction, essentially, that the loyalty card was used to accumulate loyalty points. All right, so I'm going to see here confirmation number, the card number that was used, okay, that it was the operation was an accumulation transaction, okay. I have the amount, all right, the points that were earned, promotional points associated. We'll see invoice numbers, extended invoice. A lot of this stuff is going to be populated through the integration with the POS, all right. I see as well, if I scroll down just a little bit lower here, what I'm looking for is this description here. So as you can see, description's blank right now, but because of the integration that we would have with the POS software, we're actually getting SKU level data, okay, through LogiVision. So you would have different items, basically a whole list of or catalog of all of your products, and they would have SKUs associated with them. So we'd actually be pulling the SKU level data, and then this description would populate whatever that particular item is. So you'd actually have that level of integration too. And that actually comes very, very handy when you want to start targeting certain groups and promoting, all right, and marketing to those people. When you want to create a promotional opportunity, you could actually isolate people that are buying certain types of products by category or by SKU. So maybe you get in a particular product or a line of T-shirts or something like that, and you want to isolate people that buy, T-shirts from you. So you could actually do that with that SKU level data.
So you get all the people that buy furniture, like a furniture department or housewares or whatever. Interesting.
Absolutely. Yep. Can you see how that would be valuable to you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm drooling right now, so it's all good.
Fantastic. All right. So the next thing I'm going to show you here is we've talked a lot about this kind of promos, but I want to give you an actual demonstration of how creating promos works. Now, sending out a promotional offering, all right, it always follows the same 3-step flow, okay, which is who. Who are we actually communicating to? What are we giving them? And how are we actually communicating it to them? So what we do is we create a target for the who, a promotion for the what, and then a campaign for the how. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and create a target. Okay, so I'm going to go to offers, all right, and I'm going to go to targets, and I'm going to add. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a target. We're going to give it a name. So let's say we'll call it Pathways Test 1. Okay. And do we want this target to be locked, manual, or daily? Now, what that essentially means is we are isolating, okay, a specific group of your loyalty members, all right? However, you're probably going to be, across your 10 locations, adding new loyalty members, hopefully every single day, okay? If we lock this particular target, it basically says when we run the target, that's your list forever on this specific target. Manual means that I can go in and manually update the target so that new members that have maybe been added to the list that fall into the requirements that I'm going to set here are going to be added to that target, and they'll start getting marketed to as well. Daily means that automatically every single day when new members have been added and they fall into that category, they're going to be also isolated for the target too. Okay, so for today's demonstration, I'll just do locked because it's pretty much the easiest here. We're going to add a few different conditions. Okay, now the first thing that I'm going to do is I want to isolate, essentially, we're going to take a look at, let's say, males. Okay, so I'm going to pick gender. Where is it? Right there. Gender is equal to, and we're going to select male. All right. The next thing I want to know people that are in a specific location. So for Canadians, we would do postal code. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and click postal code is like. Let's see here is like. And I'm going to just pick this postal code here. So the first 3 digits of our postal code, J4B, the percentage points just mean it's like that particular postal code. Okay. And I'm going to isolate that. Okay, now we're going to do one more, all right, and I'm just going to take a look at people that have that have not been into the shop within a couple of years, all right. So I want to take a look at, let's see here, transactions, transaction date, okay, and I'm going to say is greater than February 2nd, 2014. All right. So I'll say people that have not been into the shop since February 2nd, 2014. All right. That are males and that are in this particular area based on their mailing address information. These are the folks that I want to isolate. Now, hopefully we're going to have thousands and thousands of loyalty members, but if I calculate the results here, it's going to isolate a smaller group. It's saying that I have 6 members that fall into that category. Now, chances are you're obviously going to want to try to promote to more than 6 people at a time, but again, this is just a demonstration. So we're going to see here that we have now a 6-person target that we're going to be sending out promotional offers to. All right, we're going to go ahead and save this. Now, once we save it, you'll see the name that we created. You're going to see this little code of M3491. All right, we're going to use that code and this name to find that and assign the target to the promotion. Okay, any questions so far, guys?
Oh.
Awesome. All right, so that takes care of the who. All right, now is the what. What are we actually going to offer these folks? All right, so we're going to go to promotions. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and create a new promotion. So we'll add. Okay, now we're creating a promotion, but what exactly is it that we want to offer them? Do we want to set up a promotion based on how much money they're spending? Okay, on specific items that they're buying, or maybe items from a category, so it could be a specific shirt versus t-shirts in general could be one of your categories also organized in your POS catalog of products, right? So for today's example, we'll just do spend because it's pretty simple. Do we want to give them extra points or do we want to offer them a discount? Well, generally people don't usually do the discount. They usually do extra points because it just means more spending, more money, facilitating better business for you. Okay, so we'll generally do extra points. Now I'm going to give this a name. So we're going to say spend $300, get 10 times the points. All right. I'm going to give this a description, whatever the description is for this that you want to put in there. I'm going to do the same thing for French. Give it a description. External reference, we can leave that blank or populate it with a number in case you want to sort. Do we want this to be an active promotion, or do we want to keep it inactive for the time being? We're going to say we're going to activate it right now. Okay. Do we want to run this based on the merchant's time zone or the client's time zone? Now, are all of your shops within the same time zone?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So generally speaking, you're probably just going to do this with the merchant's time zone. But if you happen to open up others in other time zones as well, you may want to make the promotion specific to the client. All right? Depends on what you're doing. Now, we're going to set up a start date. So we're going to go ahead and choose, let's say we want to start it today, and we can specify even the time that this particular promotion is going to start. So we'll say 12:30. All right. The end date, we're going to say we're going to keep it open till the end of the month, and we'll end it at, let's say, 1 a.m. Okay. Now, do we want this promotion to be reoccurring on a regular basis? All right. Daily, weekly, monthly, or do we want to just run it once? We'll just say once for today. Now, the next is who's actually paying for these loyalty points. You've got 10 locations, and I believe they're corporately owned. Is that correct? They're not franchised?
Yeah, we're nonprofits. They're all under our umbrella.
Okay, perfect. So then you'd probably just put in here the headquarters location would be paying for the points. Okay, so let me see here. Head office. Now, sponsored by, this may not really relate to you guys, but if you ever had specific associations with like Pepsi or Coca-Cola or something like that, or maybe another brand that's going to be paying for this particular promotion, you could assign it to that specific sponsor if need be. Do you want this to be available at all locations or specific locations? You know, one or more merchant subcategory. All right, we'll just say we're going to push this out to everybody. And now what we want to do is isolate and assign that target. So we're going to go ahead into the restrict to a target list. We're going to scroll down here. And what did we call this? I believe we called it
M3491.
Let's see here. I think we called it pathways test, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pathways.
Let's see. Oh, right here.
There it is.
There it is. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Now, when our targeted group receives this promotion, do we want them to only be able to do this once? Or do we want to be able to give them 10 times the points every time they come in during this promotion? Well, maybe we want to try to keep a handle on how much this is going to cost our organization, and we'll just say we only want them to do it once. Okay? Just to get them in the store once. All right. Now, we're going to specify what the members are going to be getting. All right. So members will get, and I believe it was 10 times the usual points if they spend $300. Okay. Any questions on that so far, folks?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Pretty
So we're
lead
going to go
through,
ahead
eh?
Sorry, say that again, Gary?
Yeah, it's pretty nice lead through, like step by step. Ask you all the right questions. That's good.
So we're going to go ahead and save our promotion. Okay. Now we've got that saved in the system. So that covers the what. All right. Now, last off is how. How are we actually going to be communicating this out? Now, what we're going to be doing is creating a campaign. Okay. Now, campaigns are going to be sent out, notifications or mailers are going to be sent out through that campaign. All right. And it would be sent out either by email or SMS text. Okay. Now, just to sort of, so we all understand the language here, you could run a campaign for maybe a quarter. All right. So let's say we're doing April, May, and June. All right, is going to be the length of that campaign. So through that 3-month period of time, we want people to be able to take advantage of this promotion. But how many times do you want to communicate throughout that 3-month period, all right, to your targeted list? And again, remember that if we have new members that are being loyalty members that are being added to your list of people that qualify for this, and we have it set up so that every single day it's adding to our list of target. Okay, then we may want to send more than once a month. So maybe we want to send out, 3 or 4, maybe one every week, for that whole 3-month period. So what you would basically do now is create a campaign, and within the campaign, you would create, if it's once a month, you would create 3 separate mailers, okay? And then isolate either by text or by email. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a campaign first. We're going to go ahead and say new campaign. We're going to give it a name. So we'll call it 10 times the points campaign. Click save. Now that's our mailer, that's our campaign. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and create mailers within it. All right. So I'm going to click new mailer. I'm going to give that mailer a name. So we'll say Pathways 1. All right. This is your first mailer that's going to be going out. The subject line is get 10 times the points if you spend $300. All right. You would put in basically your name. All right. Email. And then your reply to message usually is just going to be like a no reply because we don't want them to respond back to this stuff by email. We just want them to come in. We're going to go ahead and click next step. Okay. We're going to again isolate our target. I believe it should be at the bottom here. So there's our targeted group. So we've created a target of 6 people. All right. We want to make sure that this mailer goes out to that target. That's why we're isolating it again. Our language preference is going to be English. We're going to click next step. Now, this is where the mailing system comes into play. All right. Now, currently we're using a system called Cake Mail. Have you guys ever heard of Cake Mail?
No.
Yeah,
No? Or now I think you guys, you're currently, if I remember correctly, you're using Constant Contact for an email system. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you would basically do if you have 14,000 people in that list, what you might want to do is export your list from Constant Contact, all right, and then import it into Cake Mail so that you have all that contact information in there. But again, we still need loyalty members because we're isolating a target of people that are already members in your loyalty program, not just email contacts, okay? But that kind of, we can talk about that one a little bit later. So Cake Mail is the system that we're going to be using to send out all of our mailers. All right? Now, first what we need to do is we have to log into Cake Mail. Okay. So just use my credentials there. This is essentially the interface for Cake Mail. I'm going to go back to DataCandy's back office. I'm now going to click to refresh the page. And what this is going to do is it's going to sync Cake Mail with DataCandy's back office. So now I can see within our back office web page here, I can see the Cake Mail interface. Okay. So next, what I'm going to do is I want to create what that message is going to look like. So this email that we're going to be sending out, I'm going to go to your templates. This would be various email templates that maybe your marketing team would create. Okay. So that you could kind of reuse them as you see fit. I'm just going to choose any one here. And I know the branding is going to be way off of what you guys do, but this is again, just a demo. So we'll choose this one here. Okay. So you have the email content template that's already been created. We're going to click into the content, and now we're going to start writing something special for them. All right. So, hi. We're going to choose their first name. So this is going to actually pull the first name of the loyalty member. Okay. Come on in and get 10 times the points if you spend $300. And we'll give them their loyalty balance currently too. So your current loyalty balance is, and then we're going to pull this from their report as well. Loyalty account balance. Okay. See you soon. And then you would basically sign your team's name. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and save that. And save again. Okay. So now essentially we have created the mailer. We're going to leave the DataCandy page, leave the Cake Mail page and go back to DataCandy. It's going to say, are you sure you want to do that? Yes, I am. Okay. And now basically we have our targeted mailer already created. We want to schedule it. Okay. So let's say we want to schedule this for today. Sure. At, we'll say at 12 06. Okay. Next step. Now, before we send out the mailer, we want to make sure that we review the content before we send it out. All right. It's always good to kind of double check your work first, right? So we're going to go ahead and send a test email. And I'm going to send that to myself. And you'll see that once the test email has been sent, it now opens up the ability to send the mailer and schedule it. And that's it. So what we've basically done is we've sent out a test email. Okay, I'm just going to actually go to my email inbox here. That's the wrong window. Sorry, just one second here. I'm going to drag it over. Here's the mailer I just got, and this is your test. Now, I'm not a loyalty member, so it's not going to pull my information, but your loyalty member's first name would be there, their balance would be right in there, and then this is the email that they would receive. How does that look so far, guys?
That cake looks good.
Yeah, that it does. That it does. So, after what you've seen here so far, Chris and Shonda, how would you guys leverage something like this? Would you want to send out a lot of promotions, for various reasons and target based on SKUs? How do you guys see yourselves using this?
Shauna's your mic's on, Shauna.
Sorry. Yeah, so right now we are doing pretty much monthly newsletters, and quarterly we have email coupons that we send out. So I'm really looking forward to moving over to this sort of system, because, we're just taking the discount off of whatever they print out or if they show their phone, so they could use it at all 10 locations. And so I'm really looking forward to being able to limit it so that they can only use the promotion once. And I also, I think this is just as robust as Constant Contact, so that makes me happy.
That's good.
And I think that, as far as the emails, I don't have any, or the promotional emails. I would like to see a text. Are you? Oh, well, the text is kind of the process there, or?
Yeah, actually. So you would, for text, you would create, a text version of that as well. It's really not that much different. It's just, you would probably be following, less like a shorter character count, of course, when you're sending it, but it works the exact same way from what you see on the system here. But you would create, for every individual mailer that you want to create, you would basically go into the system and kind of create one specific for every mailer, and then schedule them in advance.
And I assume that there's some sort of dashboard as far as the email campaigns and number of opens and click-throughs and the ability to resend.
That's a great question. Yeah. So because this is just a generic database for demonstration purposes, we don't actually have any of the data. But that's kind of the beauty of using the Cake Mail system, right? Is we're actually getting all of the data from the emails that are going out. So we'd actually see a number populate here of how many have been sent, the sent date, the open rate on that, those that have unsubscribed and said, we don't want to receive any more promotional offers from you guys anymore. Maybe you're sending too many out, right? How many have bounced back, or how many have ended up in the spam filter?
So do you get sales results of that campaign, Pathways 1?
Yes, you do, actually. So we could basically take a look and pull reports on, how a particular program has actually lifted, right? So you may try 3 or 4 different promotions over the course of, let's say, a 3-month period of time, maybe whatever it is, right? But the idea here is it's iterative. You want to A/B test your promotional opportunities. So you could actually pull a report that shows you all of the different promos that you've seen, and you could isolate based on how much money what your average spend is associated with those particular promotions. Isolate the one that is the most effective for you, and then reproduce those effects every time by running that same promotion over and over again.
And it automatically updates to all the latest people that signed on to the program. Well,
Correct. Well, if you set it to do so, if you again want a locked target, then it's the same. It's going to be the same thing every time, right? But if you set it to update daily, that gives you the opportunity to, of course, lift the program's promo opportunity even further.
wow.
It's pretty powerful stuff, guys, when it really comes down to it. Now, I should have honestly stopped a few minutes ago here because I see that we're already 10 minutes over the time frame. And I want to be cognizant of your time as well. There were two other things that I wanted to show you, but I don't know if you guys have hard stops now.
I'm good.
Sorry, Chris, you're muted there.
Sorry, I'm going to have to break away, but I don't know, Shonda, if you want to stay on or.
She said she was good.
She's good? Okay, fantastic. Well, Chris, it was fantastic meeting you, sir.
It was very nice meeting you as well. And Shonda and I will kind of regroup after this. And if we have any questions, we'll just send them your way.
Sounds good. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Have a great rest of your day.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, Shonda. So again, so sorry that I, passed the 12 o'clock sort of time frame there without checking in on that. The two other things that I want to show you quickly. All right, let me just bring up my notes here real quick. Is essentially our system that we use for lights out promotions. Okay, so this is kind of like your automated promotions program, whereas what I just demonstrated was sort of an ad hoc, one-off kind of promotions that you would set up, right? Now, the final thing would be our customer service gift card option as well. Okay, so quickly, I'm just going to go over to. I'll show you the gift card piece because it's customer service gift cards because it's the quickest here. So when we take a look at cards and we say gift card order. Okay, I'm going to click on this, and this is going to take us into ordering gift cards. So let's say that we have a customer that is really, really upset because they had a horrible experience at one of the locations, God forbid, right? But we want to try to make things right. What we can actually do is send them a gift card to resolve the issue if need be. All right. Now, this is a service that a lot of organizations take advantage of, but in terms of from a competitive differentiation standpoint, all right, customer service gift cards usually isn't included in a gift card program. Most cases, you actually have to go to a totally different vendor in order to be able to provide a service like this. What we're talking about is somebody from your back office or maybe one of the locations actually sending a gift card, as an apology or a thank you or whatever it is, whatever the reason might be, to the customer to satisfy them. Okay. So we simply click on the cards, right? Gift card orders. We're going to add an order. All right, we're going to specify that this is a customer service gift card as opposed to a corporate, which Justin had talked about earlier. You can give it an external reference number if need be. Who's sending this gift card out? Is it the headquarters office or is it one of the specific locations? We'll just say head office. You're going to get to specify which gift card format you want it to look like. I obviously added one here for you guys. You could have a bunch of different templates for what the gift cards would look like. Now, being an enterprise customer, you have the ability to set this up where you would send out these gift cards as e-gift cards, right? Electronic gift cards that they're going to receive by email, okay? That they can add to their mobile wallets if they wish, all right? But as an enterprise customer, you can also request that we're actually sending a physical gift card out to those people specifically. Okay, so that's one of the benefits of the enterprise program. So we would specify the card amount. Let's say we want to give them $25. All right, the quantity is, let's just say 1. And then we're going to put in a special message here. So sorry you had a bad experience. Okay, and whatever else you want to put in there, up to 450 characters. Okay, and then from here, email the language. All right, so the email language is going to be in English. Sender's name, sender's email address, recipient's first name, recipient's last name, and their email address in there. And then at this point, we just click submit, and this is going to send out that gift card to them. So I'll put in just some of this information so you can see what it will look like. So sender's name, I'll just say is Brandon. Whoop. Sender's email address is Beely@Paystone. And recipient's first name, I'm just going to send it to me as well. Okay. And we're going going to go ahead and submit this. All right, so we have $25 electronic gift card going to a recipient. Go ahead and send it.
Cool.
So just give that a second. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my inbox again. Which one was it here? Where is the inbox? Oh, here it is. My apologies. Okay, and I'll refresh. And here's my gift card that I just received. All right, so hi, Brandon. You've received a gift card, Family Pathways. View the gift card. Okay, and there it is, your $25. Now, if I opened this up with my mobile phone, I'd also have the ability to just click on this little button here to add that to my mobile wallet as well. Okay, any questions on that?
Beauty.
No, that looks good.
All pretty straightforward? Awesome. Okay, so we're just going to go back to the
Lights out.
backend portal here. And the final thing that I'm going to show you quickly is going to be our Lights Out promotions program. Okay, so we're collecting all kinds of data. All right, so information on their birthdays, information on how frequently they're coming into the shop. Right, you can basically set up, set and forget promotional opportunities for your loyalty base. Okay, so let's say that you're doing a 3% base yield. So everybody that comes into the shop gets 3% back basically in loyalty points. Okay. We also have what we call a promotional yield. This would be included in that promotional yield. So every time a member's birthday comes around, we could send out a notification saying, hey, happy birthday, come on into the shop. Here's an additional 5,000 bonus points, or here is 2 times the bonus points, or 2 times the points, if you come in within 7 days of your birthday. We can specify these things. We can also even isolate win backs. So people, for instance, that haven't been into the shop in 3 months, 6 months, a year, right? We could give bonus points, okay, to somebody who has, finally completed basically their member profile. Right? So we could say, hey, welcome, you as a new member. We're going to give them a free item or extra points, or maybe just send them a message thanking them for signing up. We could do the first redemption. Hey, congratulations, you did your first redemption. That's fantastic. Here's extra points, or a thank you message, or a free item. We could even do slow starters, right? So basically somebody that hasn't actually gone in and done a redemption, but they finished their profile a while ago, oh, what's keeping you up so much or from making a redemption? I see that you have X number of loyalty points. All right. We could give them a free item to encourage urgency. If they come in within 7 days, we'll give them this. So just for today's example, we'll just do special occasions. We're going to do a birthday. All right. And we'll do extra points. All right. And we are going to say, let's see here when this shows up. We're going to set up a program here for everybody's birthday. They're going to get either 2 times the usual points, or 3 times maybe the usual points, or we could give them bonus points, like 3,000 or 300 bonus points, whatever makes sense to you. So we'll say for this example, members will get 3 times the usual points, all right, if they visit within, let's say, 3 days of their birthday. Okay, members without a language set in the profile will receive the message in English. Okay, and if we wanted to send this out as text as well, we would create the text here and just write your little text message in. Okay, and we would do English and French. Again, the system is going to identify what their language preference is when they complete their profiles. Okay, we customize the message there. We do the French version of it, or whatever language it is that we're going off of. All right, and we would simply hit save. We would also move the fader, turning this on, and then we would click save. And then every single birthday, it's going to identify that member, and it's going to send them out either the text or the email, or both, based on their preference. Any questions on that?
Yeah, I noticed that there is also an option for social media.
Yes. Social media. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just was going to ask you to tell me a little bit more about that.
So I'll tell you the honest to God truth about it. So DataCandy actually had some pretty high aspirations for building out social media into the platform. Okay, the goal would have been to integrate, Facebook and all these different social media platforms in order to send out these promotions. As it stands, current state right now, the only functionality that we have built into the social media side of things is really for single sign-on.
Okay.
So like signing in using your Facebook profile kind of thing.
Okay.
Now, we'll obviously keep our customers up to date as to any new innovations that are coming down the pipeline. I will also say that we're spending millions of dollars every single year taking our customers' feedback on what they want to see in the program and platform, into actually making that a reality and operationalizing those ideas.
Okay. Yeah, like around Earth Day and National Thrift Store Day, we do some social media contests where we ask people to post pictures of their, thrifted outfits or, the DIY stuff that they upscaled an old dresser that they found or whatever. And then we normally just do a drawing from anyone who posted, but it'd be kind of cool if they got some bonus points for doing that. And we're also looking at ways to encourage Google reviews.
Right, with Google reviews as well. Well, there's actually a lot that's coming down the pipeline, I can say, in regards to the Google reviews. Paystone has been actually, and Paystone being the parent company for DataCandy, has been working very diligently on launching a customer engagement solution, which would have integrations with Google reviews and Facebook reviews in the future too. So that's definitely something down the pipeline that we could always discuss as well when that product becomes available to our customers. In terms of integrating your social media, for Earth Day, into the DataCandy platform, that's probably something we'd have to look at on sort of a case by case. But there are probably some creative ways that you could somehow integrate it together. I wouldn't say where it would automate identifying like, hey, so-and-so posted a picture of whatever it is, right? And then automatically they would receive a promotion. I don't think we can do that as of yet. I know that was the goal, to be able to do things like that with our social media side of the platform, but I know it was put on the back burner for the time being, and they just kind of kept it as single sign-on for now. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's a good question though. Any other thoughts or questions about the service? So, what's your impression so far?
So far, I like Chris. I'm drilling. I love it. Can't wait to start. The only other question, well, I guess I had two. The first one is there an option for physical loyalty cards, or is this all electronic? We do have a very large senior citizen population who do not use smartphones.
100%. I totally understand where you're coming from. And of course there is, yes. So one of the coolest things about Paystone and DataCandy working together here is that we actually have, and this differentiates us from a lot of the other providers out there, we give you the ability to totally customize the look of your physical cards. So you can actually order cards through us, and it could have your logo, whatever images you want to show on those cards. So we could send out loyalty cards and gift cards. Right. So you can definitely set that up so that you have a rack of loyalty cards sitting on every countertop across the 10 locations as well. And it's a very easy process to, you hand the loyalty card to the member, and then there's actually instructions even that you can put on the back that just say, go to this website and register your loyalty card. Simple as that.
Okay. Would that also tie into that gamification thing that you talked about earlier?
No. If they're doing the gamification side of things, chances are they're already technically savvy enough to, if they can get through the game, then they'd probably be okay with the digital card. I'd have to take that one offline to see if we could I don't believe we can order a physical card to mimic the existing digital card.
Okay, so they either have a digital card or they have a physical card. They can't have both?
I believe so, but Justin and I will definitely take that one offline. I'm almost 100% sure it's one or the other, but I'll double check that for you.
And if they happen to forget their phone while they're shopping, I don't know why people would do that, but it happens
sometimes.
So are we able to look up in the POS by their phone number?
You can actually, you can actually look up, you could look up their profile, because we're going to be directly integrated into the POS. Yes, you'd be able to put in any of the metadata could bring up their profile.
Okay.
Name, phone number, email, you could pull up their whole account.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then the other question, my last question, is like a way down the line, but I'm just out of curiosity. We also take donations of goods at the back door. And so I'm wondering if there's a way to tie in the loyalty program with the donations, where, we'd be able to run their card so they'd get 10 points or 50 points or whatever for donating items.
Well, what we could do is, I mean, you have the ability, of course, to go into any loyalty profile you want and adjust their loyalty balance manually whenever somebody comes in. That's always one option, right? But you could send out a message using our platform that says, come in and donate, like canned goods or clothing or furniture or whatever it is for a charitable reason, and then say, and get an additional 20 points or something like that, or or with the purchase or with the donation of this item, and a purchase, get 20 times the loyalty points or something like that. But we'd have to, a lot of those things would be more on the manual side that you would have to do them.
Yeah, we have a way of doing that with our POS and DataCandy, where we would set up like a tablet at the back where they do their donations. So loyalty members coming in would simply just scan their card, and that would register that. It's a simple card swipe that would register just a delivery, and they would obtain their points in the case where Brandon is suggesting they get points. Or if you just want to keep track of how many times they're in the back, and you swipe and you give them so many points for every time they swipe their card in the back, that can be done as well. So we just have to understand what you want to do, and we could set up. We have to set up a point of sale software, but we don't have to set up a point of sale terminal. We can just run it on a tablet type thing with a scanner built in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, it's pretty common in thrift.
So, any other questions at all, Shonda, that I can answer for you?
Nope. I think that's good.
Fine.
Okay.
Be that way.
Well, I know we ran you through the gamut there. I know there was a lot of information, probably a bit of information overload. I'm in training, so I know I can see it when I hear it. I know it. So take some time to think about any other questions that might come up. And we'll continue the conversation on. I'll let Justin kind of discuss next steps, and then we can go from there. Okay.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Shonda, I know next steps, first step for you guys is obviously making the decision on the POS system. Hopefully this presentation made that a little easier, but I'm assuming first you're going to make the decision on the POS. Once you make that decision, then we'll be ready to restart talks in regards to the gift and loyalty, correct?
Yes, I believe our board is meeting at the end of the month, and we have warm, fuzzy feelings that we'll get the green light.
Okay, so you know what I'll do? Feel free to reach out to us by email or phone with any questions you have, but I'll make a note in my system to reach out to you the very beginning of next month.
Okay.
Does that work with you?
Yeah, I'm sure as soon as we get the green light, Chris will probably be calling you.
Even better.
Okay.
Even better.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you very much, Shonda, for taking the time today to meet with us. And like I said, if you have any questions in the meantime, don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Nice meeting with you.
Yep. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too.
Bye, everyone.